All right, AMR crew, we're back to working on the Recon. I did a little work off camera because I didn't want to bore you guys with some smaller stuff. But the rear end is all rebuilt. We got new bearings, we've got all new seals, and the new rear diff is in. So this puppy is ready to go back in the Recon. So we're gonna get that done here first thing, get this rear end all back together, get it back on its wheels. And then comes the fun part of seeing if we can't get a little life out of this motor. But before I do that, it's chilly in here. I need to get a fire going in the furnace. Alrighty, let's see if we can get this. Hardest part's gonna be getting the axle to line up with everything else with the boot in the way while holding everything. Wonder, you know what, I think it might be best to me to get the shock loosely fastened in here, so that'll kind of help hold the weight till I get everything else lined up, but I can still kind of pivot stuff. So let's do that. Let's get this guy up here. Maybe. This is when I need an assistant. That should get us up there enough. There, slide her in. Then we're at the end of my axle. Oh, perfect. That's hooked. All right, now that we got these torque specs right around 80 foot-pounds, we're going to go ahead and make sure that our, oh wow, it's hard to get into, little lock pin in there is locked. She moves up and down freely. Should be good. Now we can stick our shock bolt back in. And then check and make sure when we spin the drivetrain, our rear diff is spinning. Now you guys keep an eye in there, see if you can see that spinning. That's reverse. Hey, I can see it spinning. I doubt you guys can, but it is spinning. All right, that's all in. New diff lines. Vents are hooked back up. Don't let me forget to put more fluid in this. I add a little bit for like a pre-lube, but we got to finish filling this with gear oil when we're done. Next thing we want to do here is clean up this axle real quick, get all this grime off, replace this rubber washer, and then we'll slide her back in. All right, our axle cleaned up pretty good. I got a new rubber O-ring on it, so let's slip her through. Line up the splines. There she is. Next piece is our brake drum. I got a little bit of some roughness in here though. I want to smooth off. Should I replace this? Probably, but it's good enough. Now you can just replace the liner part of these. However, the pin that holds it in is completely rusted fast. It is not coming out. So I'm going to take my Dremel, clean this up a little bit, and then we will install it in there and finish putting this guy together. That feels pretty good. You should round off the rest. I got my new end plate with new shoes. Let's do a quick little test fit here. Will it slip down inside? Ooh, she's still gonna be tight. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There it goes. Oh, perfect. Look at that. What's what we wanted. That wouldn't go down in there before, but now that we've smoothed that up, she's golden. So now we should be good to keep putting the rest of this together. Yeah, it's better. And then our cover plate with our shoes. Ah, yeah. That's what we wanted there. Okay, we got new bolts for in that, which I gotta find what I did with them. There we are. And we'll do a final little torque by hand. Alright, next we got this little collar that acts as a spacer in there. We got our new seal in it. We're just gonna give her a little bit of grease so it doesn't catch. Tear our seal as we slide it on the axle. And that should fit inside. Next we got our little conical washer. If you guys, I don't know if the camera can see this, it's like concave, there's a curve to it. This acts as a lock washer. So you want this out, so as you tighten the bolt, it kind of compresses this almost like a spring, and then that tension helps keep the bolts from backing off. So that goes in. And then we've got a bigger washer. Axle nut number 1. Just snug, you don't need to go crazy with these. And then this guy just goes on and kind of acts like a lock nut. Just put it tight against the other one. Okay, axle is done. Next we got our brake. Gotta get that lined up. Okay, let's throw the hub on. Again, we'll give the splines just a little bit of grease. It's way too much. Adjusted here. Give it just a little bump to line up our holes. There we go. Let's see if I can find a new cotter pin. This one should work beautifully. And we'll stick these old tires back on for now for testing purposes. We can set her back down on the ground to see if she runs. And with that, we are back on its own wheels. Now, I'm going to put fluid in that rear end before I completely forget about it. And guys, I gotta say, if you're using one of them hand pumps that you put right in the bottle for diff fluid and stuff because it's got a long straw, I was a firm believer in those until I went to work for a power sport dealer and we had syringes like these. I tell you what, these are about the quickest and easiest way to put fluid in diffs and hard to reach places. Even better than a hand pump because you don't have to sit there and pump it. I love these things. I'll never go back to a hand pump again. I mean, it's basically just like a giant medical syringe. You suck up the fluid, get it in the hole, and squeeze it. It's so much faster than hand pumps. I love them. I will never go back to a hand pump again. In fact, I'll even put a link in my description for one of these, identical to this one I have that I got off of Amazon. They're cheap. They're easier on your arms because you don't have to pump them. And they work so much faster. And not only that, they work at any angle. So I could have it down here and it still work. I could have it here, I could have it here, and still be able to pump fluid in nice and easy. Again, link in my description below for one of these syringes. You can get them on Amazon cheap. But if you buy from the link I put in my description, it gives me a little kickback and helps support the channel. we're done here in the back. I'm gonna go ahead and put the rear plastics back on so I can put my battery tray and air box back on before we throw the gas tank on, which I went ahead and pulled it so I could drain it of the old gas. Before we throw all that back on, we will check and see if we have spark. Oh, and I just found something interesting. I noticed this rear brake had the two things for both the foot brake, which is this one, and this one I figured was a hand brake, but I didn't ever see a cable for the handbrake up there. Oh, it's here. It's just tied, zip tied up there for some reason, so we might as well get that hooked up too while we're back here. Because as far as I can tell, everything's working for it. Alright, I'm just working on a little wire repair here, fixing some of these bad ends so we have good power connections. And once I'm done with that, we will be able to hook up, that bulb's blown, the jump pack to the battery and see if this guy will crank and see if we get spark. And it's got these wires here in the back. I don't really see what they go to. And so I'm thinking these might have been for accessories they had again at one point in time. So we're not going to worry about those right now. We'll hook up this stuff right here and see if this guy will crank. Because I don't think these actually go to anything. And if they prove to not, we'll just remove them. Okay, and that should be all the connections minus our tail light. I don't think it has to be plugged in to affect anything, but we'll plug her in just so the circuit's complete. Okay, now a jump pack. All right, jump pack is hooked up. Let's key on, see, we got our neutral light. Let's see if we got spark. We've got spark! There's spark! Oh, that makes me so excited. All right, calm down. Next thing we need to do is check and make sure we got oil in it. And then we may just hook up the IV bottle temporary and fire this guy up off of that and see if she runs. And if it does, then it's time to just clean the gas tank, throw it back on, and put everything back together. Oh, I'm so glad I saw that spark. Yes! Well, unfortunately, my fuel IV hose is too big, and it leaks like a sieve when I hook up to the carburetor. So we're gonna cross our fingers. Just go ahead, I'm gonna clean out the old gas out of the tank, put fresh gas in it, put it back together, and hook the fuel line back up, and hope this starts, and we don't have to tear it apart again. But, I mean, as simple as this thing is, even if you're gonna tear it apart, it's not a big deal. So, let me get this gas tank and stuff all back together, and then we'll see if this guy will fire. All right, it's got oil in it. I just put some gas in it. Where's my gas cap? We are going to see if this guy will fire. Fingers crossed she does. Boost on. Choke. Here we go. so now basically I just need to get the oil changed and everything put back together, and we can go for a little ride. See how this guy does in the woods. It's small, it's nimble, it's lightweight. It's only 2-wheel drive, but it should still be fun to rip around through the woods with. I guess before we take it for a rip too, I did get new brake shoes for the front. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and pull the wheels to the front, put the new brake shoes on, make sure our front brakes are working good, and get the rest of this wiring all cleaned up and stuff so we can go for a test drive. So that's what we're gonna work on right now. All right, let's see if this guy is running good. Cold engine. I'm curious to see how this thing will start under a cold engine. Let's try without the choke. So she's firing right up. Let's see. I'm probably gonna wish I put gloves on. Brake check. Yeah, the brakes aren't the best. Ooh, she's got a little bit of a sputter to her. Let's pull the hill. Yeah, she's sputtering a little bit. Oh, she doesn't want to turn. We might still have some carb issues. Yeah, you guys hear that? It's like she's running out of fuel. Doesn't want to pull the hill. Wonder if we still got a little bit of gunk in our carburetor. Yeah, she did good at first. Now she's sputtering. Just under low throttle. See right there, partial throttle. I get her past it. No. Well, that's not a good sign. Something happened there. She's idling, but under load, she's not happy. So I may have to mess around with the carburetor a little bit and see if I can't adjust some stuff. But she's alive, she's running. I'm gonna mess with the carb a bit. Which I'm thinking that's the issue, because the people that I got this off of said they threw like a cheap Amazon, like a $10 carburetor on it. And it never ran right for them after putting this carb on. So it may not run right for me. I'm gonna mess around with it a little bit. Maybe go a little bit bigger jet, pilot jet. And see if I can get it to run any better. Alright guys, well unfortunately messing around with the carburetor hasn't done anything to fix any of the issues. She's still bogging and stuff. I tried to do pilot jets, played around with the main jet, and it really didn't do anything. It still, when it's ran for a couple minutes, it's still, it's like it's running out of fuel and not getting enough fuel. So I'm chalking up to this cheap carburetor that's on there. I was able to find a OEM Honda carburetor for right around 60 bucks. I got it ordered. We'll swap that in. I also got a new throttle cable coming because I don't like how this one's broke and a little janky. So I think I'm gonna call it quits for this video. Once the new carburetor gets here, we'll throw it on. And I think we'll also go ahead. I hear a little bit of valve tick. So We'll pull the gas tank again. We'll just check our valve clearance real quick to make sure those are in spec. Because if those are out, that could be causing the bogging too. Once it warms up there a little bit, the valves aren't maybe closing or opening the whole way. So we'll check that in the next video when we go to throw the new carburetor on. But there's at least some life to it. I mean, it fires right up and is idling, so that is good. So I think we're almost there with it. We just need to get a few more little things straightened out on this, and we'll have a good little decent wood ripper. And I think Torin's really eyeing this up too once it's up and running, so he might be trading up his little Eaton 150 for this Recon 250, but we'll see. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, keep on riding, and thanks for watching.